And here to represent Moms for Liberty is Karin Miller.
So much, Dale. I'm actually going to use this stand.
You want to?
Yeah. Okay. All right. You hear me?
Yep.
Well, thank you, Dale. Thank you, Restore Minnesota. It is an incredible honor to be here before you today, to be asked to speak as a part of this Freedom Rally. And my name is Karin Miller. I'm a wife and mother to 6 kids. We home educate. And I got involved in local school board politics, state level politics, and just recently came on the board for the Dakota County Moms for Liberty because I care not only about my own children, but I care about all the children in the generation that they are growing up in, because they are the future of America. And that's really what we all need to do. Our state is embroiled in a spiritual battle and a cultural war that is seeking to literally dismantle America and the nuclear family. And children are at the crux of that battle. So whether your kids are in public school, private school, homeschool, micro school, or they're graduated and moved off, we all need to be engaged in this battle to stand up and fight for our children, for what's best for them, and to support parental rights, because the next generation is the future of America. So some of you may not be familiar with Moms for Liberty, and there's been a lot of misinformation and a lot of false accusations about Moms for Liberty. So I thought I'd just state what our mission statement is. Moms for Liberty is dedicated to fighting for the survival of America by unifying, educating, and empowering parents to defend their parental rights at all levels of the government. We are joyful warriors who stand for truth, build relationships, and empower others. And specifically, we're very concerned in Minnesota that in 2023, only 49.9% of students are at grade level in reading. Only 45.5% of students are at grade level in math, and only 39.2% of students are grade level in science. It's time to prioritize academics and what's truly best for children in school board policies and in classrooms across the state. And I encourage you to really take a look at your local elections this fall and see if there are any school board openings, and look for candidates who will do that. Prioritize what's best for children and support and uphold parental rights, and focus on the academics, not the ideologies. So, Moms for Liberty right now in Minnesota, there are 6 chapters: Dakota County, Scott County, Olmsted County, Wright County, Otter Tail County, and where am I at? St. Louis County. You can go to the website momsforliberty.org and find out more information. See if there's a county near you that you can join. Otherwise, start one. And you could reach out to us in Dakota County too if you want to start one. Our email is momsforlibertydakota@gmail.com. Okay, moving on. Next page. So, and again, there's been a lot of misinformation about Moms for Liberty. I want to be clear that we do not hate anyone. And I think Alliance Defending Freedom, they put out a little photo with 4 points that summarize it well. Parental involvement is love, not hate. Things that are not hate. Number 1, parents exercising their constitutional rights. Things that are not hate. Number 2, parents affirming biological reality. Things that are not hate. Number 3, parents opposing destructive ideologies. And things that are not hate. Number 4, parents protecting their kids from harm. So these are the sorts of things that we stand for. We really need everyone to stand for. And so now I want to share just a nugget of insight that God has really encouraged me with as I've been involved in the state capitol this past session. It's from John 10. So in John 10, verses 10 through 15, it says, gotta adjust this a little. It says, "The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. But I came that they might have life and have it abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. He who is a hired hand and not a shepherd, who does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and flees. And the wolf snatches them and scatters them. He flees because he's a hired hand and he cares nothing for the sheep. But Jesus says, I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep. And we are called to be ambassadors of that good shepherd and look for ways that we can lay down our lives, our time, talent, and treasure to do a couple things. Call out the wolf and go after the lost sheep. And that's what God has just shown me. Okay, here in this piece of legislation, go and speak against it, because that's a wolf going after children. That's a wolf going after the unborn. That's a wolf going after kids in public school. So I encourage all of us, those two principles: go after the wolf in your community when you see it in the classroom, in the library, in a city council meeting, I don't know, out in the public. Call out those things that are dangerous for our children, for our country, and then really look at go after the lost sheep. Go after the ones they're targeting. If it's the unborn, connect with your local crisis pregnancy center. How can you get involved? How can you volunteer? How can you donate? And with children, we need to go. We need to reach children with the truth that they are fearfully and wonderfully made. That God intentionally wove them together in the womb as either male or female, both having infinite value and both made in His image. We need to encourage them that they can embrace and celebrate who God made them to be. And really, we can see the wolves of the enemy have absolutely been attacking, especially children in the area of gender. Here's a few examples from around the Twin Cities. In Woodbury, a father reached out for help because his daughter's school is transitioning her name and pronouns against his wishes. And in Okehennepin, a teacher gave an anonymous warning for fear of retaliation. She said, quote, "There are good parents intentionally being kept in the dark while schools affirm their children's gender transition." In Burnsville in November 2022, the school board passed a policy that district employees must keep a student's transgender policy confidential from parents unless the student authorizes them to share it. In Hopkins, a, quote, health mentor is offering students chest binders and LGBTQ counseling without parental support, and they are offering also a Q-Quest field trip where students will be taken to a drag show and offered the opportunity to participate. In Prior Lake, FOIA requests have revealed that employees of the district were being instructed to socially transition minor children using their preferred names and pronouns without the knowledge of their parents. So you can see how children are under attack, and there's an incredible subversive effort to destroy the nuclear family, to not respect parental authority, and to replace parents with the state. But on a positive note, here's some positives. We all need positives today. The Scott County Moms for Liberty group has developed a parental rights transparency resolution. They're going to present it to the Prior Lake School Board, and in just 2 weeks, they gained 450 signatures of support from people in the community. Also, just last week in Ham Lake, Muslim parents kept home 200 students for 4 days as an attendance strike as a protest against the school's use of picture books illustrating gender-confused individuals. They pulled their kids out for a few days because they felt that teaching children about LGBTQ issues infringes on their parental rights and their religious rights. And also in Maryland, I noticed in July, Fox News reported that a group of Muslims, Jews, and Christian parents all united to stand up for family rights and to protest against gender ideology in schools. And I think this is what we need to do in Minnesota. We need to build a coalition of faith. We need to reach out to people of any belief or religion who agree against the sexualization of children, particularly through our public schools. So we are not the minority, we are the majority, and we will prevail if we stand together. So here are 5 key takeaway points for parents. First of all, be willing to do what it takes to protect your kids. Be willing to do what it takes to protect your kids. Very briefly, there are 3 legislative things that happen that all parents need to be aware of. Number 1, a bill passed that mandates K-12 ethnic studies And it's not just learning about cultures, it's really rooted in critical race theory, in Marxist critical race theory. Number two, the teacher licensing standards were revised and approved, and they will go into full effect for sure July 2025. And by that point, all teachers will have to both affirm and implement critical race theories and critical gender theories in the classroom in order to be licensed. And at some point, that will impact relicensures as well. And the third thing, Senator Gruenhagen referred to it already as HF 146, the so-called, quote, gender affirming care bill, which gives minors the right to either medicinal strategies or surgical strategies to change their gender. And in the bill, it literally states, if a child is present in the state of Minnesota and they are unable to receive that care because a parent doesn't support it, that the state now has the authority to take immediate custody of that child. Legally, they can take the child out of that home if a parent or the parents do not support in their choice to basically destroy their gender through medicines or surgery. So I think it's critical that parents know that, and that you be willing to do what it takes to protect your kids. And if you need support in choosing educational alternatives, definitely reach out to Moms for Liberty Dakota County, and even Moms for Liberty throughout the state. A lot of us have chosen different educational options. So be willing to do what it takes to protect your kids. Number two, stay engaged in the fight for this generation. Even if you pull your kids out and homeschool them like I am, stay engaged. Go to your public school board offices or meetings. Just to engage what's going on locally and fight for this generation. And that fight begins in the womb. I want to give a little plug here for the next March for Life. It's Monday, January 22nd, 2024. Here, right here. Do you know there are about 12,000 babies at this point? The number is climbing of the number of abortions that happen in this state every year. And in this January 22nd March for Life, there's going to be a display of 12,000 baby models. So we can see a picture of the reality of the lives that are being destroyed in our state every year. And the vision, MCCL's vision, is to invite 12,000 or more people to come. And you'll have an opportunity, if you want, to, when you enter the Capitol area, to collect one of these baby models, process with it, and add it to this powerful display to help commemorate one life of the 12,000. So put on your calendar, January 22nd, 2024. So we got to stay engaged in the fight for this generation. And then again, call out the wolf and go after the lost sheep, wherever you see that happening in your local communities. And then number four, support school board candidates. Support school board candidates who will place children and academics at the center of educational priorities and support parental rights. And number five is join us, Moms for Liberty. It's very new in the whole nation, very new in the state. And the more people we have, there's even a free membership. The more people we have signed up, the more people we can say if we speak for a bill that we represent, so many hundred people in the state of Minnesota. So again, the website is momsforliberty.org. And then a final thought of encouragement. There's a quote that John Helmberger of the Minnesota Family Council said that has stuck with me for all my involvement this past session. He said, success is this, shining in the darkness. If we're shining, we're winning, even in what appears like defeats. And now that comes from the Bible in John 1. So this is what I'm closing with. Here we are. John 1, 1 through 5. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Hallelujah, right? He was in the beginning with God, and all things were made through him. And without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. God's light always overcomes the darkness. God's truth will always prevail. So it's our job to stand in the truth and shine the light. Thank you very much.